Welcome everybody to Ignite 2023. My name is Louis Gallardo. I lead our digital platform and analytics group within Cherry Bekaert, who's a 75-year-old accounting and advisory firm. We have an outstanding Microsoft practice and alliance relationship with them for many years as a gold partner. We're here to enable your Microsoft technology investment from strategy to implementation to optimization, and really bring about the needs to transform your business. We're going to dive into a couple stories that relate around Azure, as well as Power Platform, and some advanced analytics technologies that we're leveraging to help our clients change the world. And really looking forward to engaging with you as some next steps. So please enjoy our story, and I'll turn it over to Nate Regimbal to take us through the first one.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nate Regimbal, a leader in our digital advisory platform and analytics team. I'm joined by my colleague, Jon Schrader, and today we're going to talk about work with our client, PXiSE Energy Solutions, a Yokogawa company. PXiSE provides software for managing the complexities of the 21st century grid. Our alliance addresses sustainability and grid modernization. Our featured project involves a solution built on Azure that's modernizing how electric utilities manage the 21st century grid, which now has two-way power flow all the way down to homes and businesses. Jon will provide a demo discussing product development and customer implementation. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Jon.
Thanks, Nate. Hey, team. My name is Jon Schrader, and I work as a director and technical architect to help lead the Microsoft consulting practice here at Cherry Bekaert Digital Advisory. I want to introduce to you the PXiSE product that we specifically helped with. PXiSE is an innovative software company that works with energy companies and energy aggregators to help them manage their distributed resource deployments. And you can imagine thousands of solar and battery devices spread across the world, and PXiSE is developing software to manage those devices behind the meter in order to maintain a stable power grid. So our function on this project that I'll get into in a minute is the 2030.5 specification. And we helped PXiSE move this product to the cloud and also make it transactable on the Azure marketplace. Our role was not just to bring it to the cloud and marketplace, but actually doing some of the development ourselves and augmenting the development team within PXiSE. Let's start off with the architecture diagram. And this is it's called the 2030.5, IEEE 2030.5 specification. And it really allows distributed energy resources like solar, battery, wind, other types of renewable energy sources to communicate over the internet to a 2030.5 server. So we helped with bringing this server to the marketplace as well as Azure, and we're trying to use as many Microsoft platform services out of the box as possible. And that way we can keep control using Microsoft products as well as script the deployment easily using ARM templates and Bicep, which I'll get into later. So you can see that the servers, the smart inverters in the cloud are communicating through the application gateway, and these are secured via certificate communication through SSL or TLS. We have an application tier all using Microsoft Azure platform services, so web app service tier for the 2030.5 server, which is written in .NET Core, and then it communicates to a Cosmos document database in the data tier. And so that's a database application tier for the server itself. PXiSE already had a lot of this already in place, but we were brought in to bring it to the cloud, make sure it was scalable within the Azure marketplace and the Azure space. The new pieces to this puzzle are the UI, the API, and the authentication pieces. We're using Azure AD B2C for external access to this user administration. And so this UI is used for administering and monitoring and controlling the 2030.5 server, because the server itself is a headless type component. And within the architecture, again, we're using .NET Core as the API layers, and we're using a lightweight Vue.js in the UI service tier. Our application database is Azure SQL. And then we're using containers, Azure Container Services Registry and Container for a lot of our backend processing. So control activation, recurring control, and mirror usage point information. And then some of the management components down here that are within this resource group are really just key vault, storage account, and then we're highly leveraging the application insights and log analytics pieces to the Azure marketplace out of the box. We're using the Azure billing app. We built a function app to communicate to the Azure metered billing, which is global to Azure metered components. So it's an all-in-one, trying to make this solution as easily deployable as possible. And so we've wrapped it up into one resource group and are deploying it as one resource group. Now that we've got the architecture down, let me get into a functional demo. So here is the UI piece. It is secure, again, by Azure AD B2C. There is login, multi-factor authentication, all the things that you would expect from a security perspective. But here you can see in this demo environment, we have 7 devices connected to the server. And you can see the last measured value. This should be up to the minute information as to what's happening in your environment. And then the installed capacity is the overall capacity for your environment. And these can be broken up into different systems. Right now, we just have one system. And typically a system could be by town, by region, broken up into different areas that you might want to manage separately from one another. So here you can see the battery storage is 14.7 kilowatts of hours, and then we're at 97% charged. Right now, this component is actually in New Zealand, and it is nighttime right now in New Zealand, so not putting out any solar at this point in time, but you can see the overall capacity. Let me move now to the engineering overview, and the operator overview is what your capacity is. The engineering overview is what's the status of my devices that I'm managing. And so here you can see in this demo environment, we have 7 total active and 7 healthy and connected to the server. I'm going to move to devices. And so you can see we've got in this 3 solar devices, 3 batteries, and then in a different group, we've got another solar device here. So let me just look, we'll just pull up a device and look at the details of what that device entails. So here you can see that we've got registration details, and a lot of these other areas are within the 2030.5 specification. So DER settings, DER capability, status, and then mirror usage point is really information that the device sends to the server on a very frequent basis saying, this is what my status is, this is what I'm outputting, this is what I'm charging, this is how much it is. And you can see we're tracking active power, reactive power, and voltage. We also are tracking mirror usage point information over time. So we're tracking time series data by device in our database. And so you can see that this solar device, obviously the power output follows the sun. And so you can see within the last day that this is following the sun's intensity and heat. And then down here is the voltage output. So from here, we can group devices. And so we've got a way to say, I want to look at just solar devices or just the battery devices, or you can do it by location or topology. So right now we've got some user-defined groups. So here for AVA solar, you can see only the solar devices are grouped into this group. And then we've got a default group, which contains all the devices. One of the things that's important to PXiSE's customers is the topology, monitoring the topology of their electrical grid. So we've allowed the customers to input through an upload process their topology of what their power network grid looks like. So down to the meter, up to the feeder, transformer, the high volume feeder, the substation, GXP, and then up to the main network. So it's neat to be able to see, by topology, the number of devices in those topologies, and so they can track where they are in their grid. From there, we've got asset monitoring. And so this asset monitoring is done at the group level. And so let me look at the solar devices, and this monitors, again, the time series data and the up-to-minute data of what that group looks like. So here you can see that we've got 3 total devices, 3 solar, they're active and healthy, and you can see what their power output was over the last 24 hours. Now, this 2030.5 protocol is not just for monitoring and viewing devices and registering devices. It's also for scheduling and controlling events. So if we need to curtail power output to monitor, to manage the grid, to make sure that the grid is stable, we can do that through controls. And the controls are really to manage, again, the active reactive power or the voltage output of a specific device or a group of devices. And so here you can see that there are actually a couple controls that are active and on a recurring basis. So this will actually curtail power or increase power or manage those devices manually. This DER managed solution that we're talking about today is PXiSE's first step in their full suite of products. So think of this product as like a manual transmission car where you can monitor and shift and control specific devices manually. But the next generation is a fully automated DERM solution, which is using AI, machine learning, to do this in a holistic way, controlling devices, monitoring the grid, and making sure that it's going to be stable for the customers. All right, I'm going to move over to the marketplace. So we were actually able to help them launch this product in the Azure marketplace, and it is available today. So I'm going to actually search for PXiSE, and you can see the DER management communication platform here. And this is the communication platform that is available in the marketplace today. This is a contact me offer, but behind the scenes, there is a transactable product in the Azure marketplace that PXiSE can share with its customers to install and download automatically. So let me show you what that looks like in the marketplace. Here is the marketplace DER management platform. And this is what the offer looks like, the transactable offer looks like. And if you hit create here, this will walk the customer through how to install this in their environment. So a customer would choose their subscription, their Azure subscription, their resource group that they want to deploy it to, choose a couple, enter in a couple details of what they need, and then basically hit review and create. So then all they have to do is agree to the terms and conditions, hit create, and it will launch the product and start installing all the infrastructure, all the application, all the database information automatically. And that was done through bicep scripting and ARM templates. And that's the way that we can help our other customers bring marketplace products to the Azure marketplace.
Thank you, John. It's been a pleasure working with you and the integrated PXiSE Cherry Bekaert team. And as a custom application built on Azure, it's very timely. When looking at Microsoft's most recent point of view on the power and utilities industry and accelerating the journey to a net zero future, we see that a key priority under grid transformation is about DER, or distributed energy resource integration. So by helping PXiSE put this easy to use, easy to deploy solution on the Azure marketplace, and then helping PXiSE's customers with deployment, integration, and support, we believe that we are perfectly aligned in our partnerships with Microsoft and PXiSE toward meeting the needs of the industry. There's also a natural tie-in to Microsoft Sustainability Cloud with this solution. Thank you again, John. I'm now going to turn it over to Trace Armstrong to discuss our exciting work that we have done with another company in the electronic signature, document workflow, and automation space, which includes some great AI Copilot use cases. Over to you, Trace.
Hi, I'm Trace Armstrong, and I've been a Microsoft consultant for the last 13 years. So I've been a part of a lot of innovation over the last decade or more. It's really exciting to be a part of this time in the Microsoft ecosystem, as Microsoft is driving innovation through AI, the Power Platform, and Azure. Today, I want to talk to you about a partnership that we formed with a company called Verdocs. Verdocs is an e-signature company that's built on modern technology, including Stencil, that has a very rapidly evolving API that allows for greater automation and integration into different systems. With the advancements Microsoft has made in their products, we're able to leverage those APIs to build custom applications in Teams, Power Apps, Business Central, and Power Automate. When we started our partnership with Verdocs, the first thing we did was process map the ideal scenario to taking e-signature to the next level. Here we walked through what is a submitter doing, what would the e-signature tool do in Power Apps, how would it interact with Power Automate, how would it work with passing it off to other users either externally or internally, and then how would they utilize the Teams app dashboard so that you could manage your entire e-signature world within the Microsoft Cloud. So with that, let me take you to our Teams application that was built for Verdocs. So because Verdocs built this on a very robust API and Stencil, we were able to leverage Microsoft technologies to pull in this data to give you complete viewpoint into all of the activities that occur around e-signature. On this basic dashboard page, you can see what signatures have been completed, which ones are waiting for my signature, and which ones are out for signature from other people. I can also see recent templates that I've interacted with. On the envelope screen, I can see all of the different envelopes that have either been signed or out for signature or have been canceled. With their API, we were able to search and filter and build these different containers to make a fully end-to-end experience in terms of that management. You're also able to browse and create templates within here, and even better, you can actually manage your entire Verdocs user profile within here. So you can update your information, you can add information about your organization to Verdocs, you can add members from your tenant into their product, and you can also generate API keys, which we're going to explain the importance of that here in just a minute. One of the key pieces of functionality is due to our partnership with Microsoft, we were able to work with their engineers to actually create document templates directly from Teams, SharePoint, or OneDrive, which has been new technology that has evolved through their different features within Teams. So we can actually pick files and create templates out of our OneDrive, our recent documents that were shared with me, or I can actually flip through and pick from different Teams and SharePoint sites to create and generate my document templates. For the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to do a quick local file. So let me pull that up. Okay, now that we've selected our file, we can hit our next button, and we can actually start configuring the e-signature roles around who can interact with this template, whether it's just me, anyone in my organization that would send this document as coming from me, or as anyone in the organization. So we'll go from there, and we can start building our e-signature workflow and say, is this a signer? Are they just getting a copy? Or are they just an approver within the chain of the signature process? Once I fill out all of this information, I can hit OK and actually see my generated document template, and I can actually drag and drop the fields like you would in a normal e-signature experience. From here, I just want to transition us over to the Power Platform and how we've taken e-signature to the next level beyond just managing, creating envelopes for e-signature. What you're seeing on the screen is part of our custom connectors that were developed as part of this solution. So with their API, we're actually able to make calls through code and generate different action steps within Power Automate. And we can see code details, we can define those code details and what they are. So on this screen here, we're actually able to define the operation IDs and what API call that we are making from the Verdocs platform through their CDN. And we can do that for all of the different actions that we've created in the solution. Within a Power Automate workflow, this gives us the ability to create end-to-end business process for e-signature within the Microsoft tenant. So here we're actually authenticating to the API so that it knows we actually have permissions to perform the actions we're about to do. From there, we can get templates, we can get envelopes, whether they're completed, whether they're pending, through different action steps here in the body. We can even automate the creation of an e-sign session based on information that comes in through a Power App. We can also cancel envelopes if certain criteria occur in the midst of our workflow. And because this is in Power Automate, you can do things like send Teams notifications, send automated emails or approval steps as it iterates through the process, which gives you that full end-to-end end user experience that we are all desiring. From the Power App side, we actually have created a custom Power App component that allows us to post data from a Power App into one of our templates that I showed you how to create in our Teams app. So here I just have a basic sales agreement app. I can see agreements that are in process or have been completed. I can filter it. But if I need to create a new one, I can actually go in here and fill in the order details. So I can put the company name, the contact, the department, the phone number of the person, their email address, and then I can actually put details about that sales agreement order in here. Once I've done all of that and I've saved this record, I can hit this Verdocs e-signature button, and what it will do is kick off the automated process that will map these fields to my Verdocs template and send it out for e-signature and perform actions based on my Power Automate flows. What this is able to do is create that full integrative piece within the Microsoft Cloud that's been missing for some tools like this. So we were able to take the Verdocs existing tool that they have that stands alone as a web app today and fully integrate it into the Microsoft Cloud. The configuration of this tool is really interesting as well. So from a custom component standpoint, we have all of these different endpoints built into the component that we can actually map the data card values in Power Apps to. So if I have a contact one email here, so let's actually take a look at this. This right here is the template ID. So if I have the ID of the template that I'm wanting to map to, all I have to do is copy and paste this template into my Power App. I can name the envelope whatever I want to have it say, or I can have it be dynamic based on what we put into the Power App. And then from there, I map the data card values to the different areas of the template that I want it to fill out. That way, I get that full developer experience and have control over what information goes in what fields and fully automate it end to end. The advantages of being able to build solutions in the Power Platforms and Teams is really going to go to the next level as AI Copilot matures over the coming years. The ability to scan finished and signed documents and extract information and put them into data lakes or integrate them into other Microsoft applications in Business Central or Dynamics are going to be able to create a full cloud ecosystem where you can pull in third-party components and products and fully put them in your Microsoft Cloud to make life easier for your end user, and as well as to ensure that the information that is in your databases is accurate.
Thank you, Trace. Verdocs native integrations into the entire Microsoft Cloud makes it developer-friendly, of course, but there's also a lower total cost of ownership, a better experience for developers and end users alike. For example, getting out of red line documents in email and into a secure collaboration governed by a stateflow engine. And there are some great AI use cases as well. For example, halt a document signing session if certain verbiage is detected in the file, or use Microsoft's Copilot to answer questions like, what is the total contract value of all of our engagement letters or commercial real estate letters of intent and leases that we currently have in the pipeline? With Microsoft and Verdocs, you're able to drive modernization in the workplace along with better experiences, better records management, and more cost savings. Louis, back to you.
Okay, well, thank you, Nate. Really appreciate you leading us through this, and John and Trace for some outstanding stories. Hopefully everybody today got a good sense of the value we can bring to you leveraging your Microsoft investments, really looking at business outcomes to change the way and direction of your business for the future. And in general, we went through a lot of different things today, from the technologies, Power Apps, AI, Azure, advanced analytics, and also really around how we change those outcomes from optimizing operations improving efficiencies of your processes, accelerating and expanding revenue. These are just some of the ways that we can help you and your business or organization today or in the future. Also, really want to address the point of us focusing on an industry angle. You heard a couple technical industry solution stories, but they target and focus and help the industrial energy sector as an example, as well as we think the solutions for e-signature is really very relevant for the professional services industry. So hopefully these bring to light some ideas and inspire you and motivate you to reach out to us. Our QR code is here for you to engage with us, and really appreciate your attendance to Microsoft Ignite, as well as our video here about Cherry Bekaert. Thank you.